Hello, this is Showbiz Entertainment, and I am still your reviewer. Uh, the Spectre, starring Daniel Craig. This movie, this um, this movie is the number one movie in the world for 2 weeks straight. Honestly, the reason for that I think is because it's not really a movie big enough. I know when Star Wars: The Force Awakens comes out next month, it's probably gonna knock it right off the mountain. So, but with that in mind, this is the the next logical step in the James Bond franchise. With this, with a budget of over, let me quote you on the budget, over 245, 250 million, and the box office alone is 677.4 million at the box office, and it's the number one movie in the world for 2 weeks straight. Man, that's something. That says something. At with Daniel Craig, Christopher Waltz as the villain, Leah Sydox, Ben Whishaw, and Naomi Harris, and of course former WWE superstar Dave Bautista, and Monica Lewinsky and Ralph Fiennes. Uh, this movie, it starts out with a bang within Mexico. Okay, this is one thing I've noted about Bond films. You notice that there's always this lavish style of rich. Like a lot of you see a lot of. You're not gonna in a James Bond movie. You're not gonna see homeless people on the street or anywhere walking by James Bond, or you're not going to really see somebody in the welfare line. You're not going to see people collecting their paycheck at the temp servers. What you are going to see is a very lavish style that is very reminiscent of an old show I saw back in the 80s. You might get you guys if you guys don't know, you guys might know it. It's called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I'm Robin Leach, and this is the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And we're here in beautiful Mexico with James Bond and the Day of the Dead Festival. And there seems to be a great ruckus in here. I'm Robin Leach of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and keep reaching for the stars. Anyways, so these movies always display a whole lot of look for visuals a lot, and in the for opening scene, which is in Mexico, Day of the Dead Festival, to celebrate, of course, um, it's kind of like a Mexican holiday, Halloween, and so those of you who don't know. But anyways, this movie is kind of like I kind of got the feeling that when movies try to over-explain themselves, and then it's supposed to, a running time was 148 minutes, they over-explain themselves. It kind of drags the movie a little bit. But there's plenty of action on this movie. This is what it makes up for. It gives you like kind of the 007 protocol here, and you're gonna see like mannerisms. I'm not talking about Sean Connery or Roger Moore or anything like that, but you are going to see a lot of mannerisms on this film of previous James Bond films. And I think Daniel Craig, to me, when I first saw Casino Royale back in 2006, I kind of thought that Daniel Craig was kind of like a, to me, a very vicious and brutal James Bond. Right? I'd never seen, because I've seen plenty of James Bond movies growing up as a child. So that's what. So you get to see that ruthless side of him, and it's kind of like almost like a soul searching kind of movie in a way. But the odd thing in this movie for me, there's actually several odd things in this movie. Let me get to the. I don't really want to tell you guys how the movie turns out. I just want you to know that this movie, overall, it's not a bad film. It's actually whole lot better than I didn't actually see. I didn't see Quantum Solace, but I hear a lot of not so favorable reviews, and I might review it on my channel one day. Who knows? But anyways, this movie. He's going against an organization known as Spectre, a very ominous, almost, let's say, foreboding organization, and it's trying to take over the 007, kind of like 007 is a thing of the past now, and of course that they're going to take over, right? And then they see James Bond as a threat, or he's kind of like a link to the past that needs to be erased already. And so they go after him. You know what happens then, anyways. Tons of action. There's a lot of great performances on this movie. from the villain, of course, and some of the supporting actors on here were good, and some of the heroines on this movie, some of the ones I just mentioned, of course, they're actually really good. You know, I mean, if they you kind of get a slight chance that James Bond might actually found the right woman, and I just doesn't. I don't think that just doesn't fit. James Bond is a player. He's a thrill-seeking agent of death. Okay, and what does he do? He's a womanizer. That's all he does. If you see the beginning of James Bond, you see the beautiful chick on in the beginning, you know, okay, that's the kind of girl you want to be going on a date with. So, anyways, but so and then it kind of there's some loopholes in this movie, just like with every other movie. I noticed that a lot of course, and you know a lot of stuff. There's some subplot. There's a subplot in this movie, and you don't really get to see. You don't really get to see like a lot of the more explaining of what the Spectre is. Okay, it's a criminal organization. It's not just your typical I want to take over the world, Doctor Evil kind of thing. It's more like like I just saw another before I did this review because I do actually like to see other reviews before I do some of my videos and anyways, but um, I I know these are some things that I noticed that this other review on YouTube noticed. This is what do Bond villains have to do with why do they want to take over? Why do they want to get more money if they already have a whole lot of money? I mean, that's why I brought up the lifestyle of the rich and famous at the beginning of the video, and you know it. Okay, how do they need more money? I don't get it. Okay, like they have like high tech weaponry, high tech assault weapons, and henchmen. They got it just looks like they got a whole lot of buttload of money. What do they need more money more? It just doesn't. It really doesn't make any sense at all. Like why don't they just kind of like, what? Actually, I think I made a whole lot of money, whatever it is that I did to get it, but I made it and I just to the hell with it. But because it's a James Bond flick, everything about this movie is kind of aimed at a much richer audience, and it just that's what it make it. Like I said, you're not gonna see James Bond playing NWA or well, hold on, more recently like something I don't know like Drake or something like that out of his car. So and then that goes to tell you like okay, that's basically what the movie's about. Okay, I don't really want to say any spoilers for those of you who haven't not seen this movie. Go see it. It's actually worthwhile. You're wild. You're gonna have lots of fun. You're gonna feel lots of. There's a lot of spectacle in this movie. What I love about with each shot, when you're gonna see a different country basically, and it's showcased to the movie. You see all the glamour. There's glamour and glitz on these movies. Okay, these are James Bond movies. Like I said, this is aimed for a much chill. And so okay, my major complaints. Okay, I'm gonna give you some of my major complaints about this movie. Okay, the first. Okay, you see his first boss in the movie. Okay, who sent him out on his missions. Okay, she kind of looks a little bit kind of like Annie Lennox a little bit. Like sweet dreams are made of these. Whatever. Anyways, she kind of looks like Annie Lennox, and she's gone. All right, she's dead already. So what do they do? Okay, they replaced her with somebody that looks reminiscent of. Hold on. She looks a little bit reminiscent of. You drive a fast car. Get us out of here. Hi, hi. Got a feeling that of me. Hi, hi. Got a feeling that I can be someone, be someone, be someone, be someone. You drive a fast car. She kind of looks like Tracy Chapman, okay? With a British accent though. It looks like Tracy Chapman. It's like I'm gonna see her. She's gonna start performing that boring hit from the '80s called "Fast Car." There was not heavily. heavy rotation in the late 80s, you know? Let's go. Anyways, so at that I didn't understand. Okay, I mean, they're trying to go in a different direction, and there's rumor that this is the last Bond film. So, um, other and then just lack of like development for the some of the main characters, and then you get to see the main baddie guy, the villain of the movie at the end of the movie. He's basically he's at James Bond's mercy at the end of the film, and he's kind of he. I mean, I like to say that this guy's performance was definitely one of the best on the movie, and he was Christopher Waltz. He was definitely worth. He was notable on this movie, and especially when they kind of introduced him into the picture, and they gave the movie levity, and I also want to talk about Dave Bautista. He wasn't the weakest link. He was not the weakest link in this movie. Dave Bautista, you are not the weakest link in this movie. He didn't say, he said maybe one line through the whole movie, and I really didn't catch it. Honestly, I was watching the movie and I was just like, but I was like, cool, Bautista's on this movie. I had reported over a dozen videos that he was going to be on this movie. But anyways, and he was probably one of my favorite scenes is in the beginning, of course, in Mexico, where he blows up that whole building, and it starts to cave in towards the other building that he's standing on, and you see the helicopter, and he's kind of just, kind of in a Rambo situation. And then my favorite, probably one of the best fight scenes I've seen on a movie since Lethal Weapon, actually. And I mean, that's to me, that's the greatest, probably one of the absolute greatest fight scenes. But that's another movie. But anyways, when he fights with Batista, they're on the train and all that, and then plus the girls with the hotties with him, and you don't really see like shaky camera movements. You don't really see like the cameras. Like, imagine if you're getting the camera, you can't really make out what's going on. It doesn't look overly shaky or anything like that. It looks so totally awesome. I gotta say that my friends was totally awesome on this movie. That fight scene, I give that fight. I gotta rate this fight actually. I give this fight a 9 out of 10 because it was probably one of the best fight scenes I've seen on a movie. It didn't seem rushed. It didn't seem like there was like some bad editing going on at all either. It was more like it was just straight up. It looked like it hurt bad. It hurt. You could tell. And like Batista does it. He didn't look like somebody that was just there for James Bond to beat up at the end of the movie. And he kind of shows up on the movie every now and then of course he gets shot, he gets knocked out or whatnot. And he kind of reminds you a little bit of some of the James Bond older James Bond movies. Some of the villains in the past that he's had, like a big massive guy that's trying to kill him in the movie, like that one guy with the teeth, I don't know if you guys remember some of the older James Bond flicks. He had like some kind of metallic teeth, like pretty nasty customer. But anyways, overall this movie is a great time. It's not the perfect James Bond flick, because my favorite James Bond flick, if you guys want to make comments about it, it's View to a Kill with Roger Moore, and of course, you know what I'm talking about. Grace Jones. And of course, oh my God. Anyways, I know Grace Jones wasn't exactly. That's why it's so memorable, though. View to a Kill is so memorable on this as a James Bond flick for me. It's really I had seen many James Bond flicks, but anyways, if you like what you see here, you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please support this channel, and I will definitely try to make things more, give you guys more entertainment. Big boy, a fool out of myself. Okay, all right. This is your reviewer. This is Showbiz Entertainment, and I am definitely still your reviewer.